Today was the second of two primary election days here in New York State after Governor Andrew Cuomo resigned from office back in August of 2021. Then Lieutenant Governor Kathy Hochul became head of the state, which left the office of Lieutenant Governor open, and she chose State Senator Brian Benjamin to fill that vacancy. Well, in April 2022, Benjamin was arrested on a federal indictment for bribery. Benjamin resigned, and Hochul then appointed Congressman Antonio Delgado to the position of New York State Lieutenant Governor, which created an 8-month vacancy in New York's 19th Congressional District. After a court challenge to the federally mandated redistricting plan that was signed into law by Governor Hochul, New York was ordered to redo the maps for the House of Representatives and the state Senate. But due to timing issues, the state ended up with two primaries: July for statewide and assembly races, and August for House and state Senate races. And Hochul used the August date to hold the special election to replace Delgado for 4 months in the House. Two candidates got in that race for the 19th District special election. There's Republican Mark Molinaro and Democrat Pat Ryan. Ryan ends up in a very unique situation of having his name appear on the ballot for two races on the same day: congressional special election in New York's 19th District and Democratic primary for New York's 18th Congressional District. Pat Ryan appears on the Democratic and Working Families line. He's a West Point grad, grew up in Kingston, and lives in Gardner, and was elected Ulster County Executive. In an unusual circumstance, in an unusual election year, Ryan appears on the ballot in two races on the same day. Along with the special election in New York State 19th congressional race, Ryan is also on the ballot in the Democratic primary in New York's 18th congressional district. The reason is that Ryan's home will no longer be in the redrawn 19th district next year. Mark Molinaro, elected Dutchess County Executive and previously a member of the New York State Assembly, ran against Andrew Cuomo for governor of New York in 2018. Molinaro will be on the November ballot for the 19th district race for Congress as the Republican and Conservative Party's candidate. We're calling the race for 18th Democratic seat for Pat Ryan. And residents of Otsego County have two other primary races being contested. They are both Democratic primaries for Congress. One will be to determine who will be on the Democratic ballot in November for the 19th Congressional District. This is for most, but not all, of Otsego County. There are two candidates in that race: Jamie Chaney, a small business owner who lives in the Hudson Valley. She previously ran for a seat in the New York State Senate. And there's Josh Riley, a lawyer who grew up in Endicott and currently lives in Ithaca. Riley worked as a policy analyst for the U.S. Department of Labor. This is his first run for office. Josh Riley taking this election. The northern part of Otsego County, as well as all of Herkimer County, will be choosing the Democrat who will challenge the most powerful elected Republican in the state, 21st District Representative Elise Stefanik. Two newcomers are in that Democratic race: Matt Castelli, former CIA officer who worked intelligence in Afghanistan and served as director of counterterrorism in the Obama administration. He lives in Glens Falls, and this is his first run for political office. Matt Putorti, born in Glens Falls, lives in Whitehall and worked in Sudan as part of AmeriCorps. This was his first run for political office as well, but Eyewitness News is calling this race for Matt Castelli. He'll face Elise Stefanik in the November general election. Now for Oneida County. Due to redistricting and the decisions of two sitting representatives, there is an open seat in the House, and both major parties have contested primaries. The newly drawn district maps slid Oneida County in with Madison and Onondaga counties, forming the 22nd district. That configuration is home to two current members of Congress: 22nd District Republican Claudia Tenney and 24th Republican John Katko. Katko announced that he would retire from Congress, and Tenney announced that she would run for election in the new 24th District, which is now a more western district. The Democratic primary has a field of 4. Francis Knoll, a Naval Academy grad and veteran who worked as part of the Obama administration. Knoll lives in Syracuse. Sarah Clee Hood, an Air Force veteran who lives in DeWitt and has been elected to the town board. Shaul Majak, born in Sudan and lives in Syracuse as an elected member of the Syracuse Common Council. And Sam Roberts, 3-term member of the New York State Assembly, previously a member of the Onondaga County Board of Legislators, and served as the state's Commissioner of Temporary and Disability Assistance. Francis Knoll in the lead, but only by 4%. There are two Republicans running to replace Catco. Steve Wells, a Syracuse native now living in Cazenovia, who co-founded American Food and Vending Corporation. Wells was previously an assistant district attorney in Texas and ran in the Republican primary for the 24th district in 2016, finishing second to Claudia Tenney in a three-way race. Wells is up against Brandon Williams, born in Texas, a Navy veteran, Silicon Valley executive, and Trump supporter. Williams currently lives in Cayuga County outside of the 22nd district. This is his first run for office, and he leads this election. And there's one primary for a seat in the state Senate. That's in the 51st Senate District on the Republican side, and there are two candidates in that race. We have an upset in the making. Terry Bernardo, a small business owner who was at one time the chairwoman of the Ulster County Legislature before moving to her current home in Rock Hill, Sullivan County. Bernardo is facing Peter Oberacker, the incumbent, a small businessman, former member of the Otsego County Board of Representatives, who was elected to the Senate in 2020. Terry Bernardo is up at 53%. Now, there are two other New York primary races that, although are not local, are still of interest. One with national implications. In New York City, redistricting has set up a match between two long-sitting Democrat congresspersons. Redistricting created a new 12th congressional district, which is home to two powerful House members, both of whom were first elected to Congress in 1992. Jerry Nadler is the chairman of the House Judiciary Committee, leading that committee twice through impeachments of Donald Trump. And Carolyn Maloney is the chair of the House Oversight Committee and Reform Committee, rather. She was the first woman to hold that position. Only one of them will see their time on Capitol come to an end. Nadler, who got a late endorsement from Senator Chuck Schumer, will win this primary and likely be returned to Capitol Hill. The other primary of interest is on the Republican side out west in the 23rd district. Nick Langworthy, chairman of the state Republican Party, is challenging Carl Palladino, a Trump and Stefanik-backed candidate who has a history of speaking off script and getting in trouble for it. Palladino previously ran for governor, losing soundly to Andrew Cuomo. Langworthy has a solid lead over Palladino, and in the new 24th district, Claudia Tenney leads in her three-way Republican primary.